This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
All right, everybody, welcome back here as we are live from Los Compadres. It's the Lake Show. My name is Sam Torres, joined with my weekly partner here, Coach Terry Henton, as we are in week 3 of high school football, getting ready for a big-time matchup this week. But before we get into football, I got to send a shout-out to the volleyball team. A big win over Harvey in just 3 sets. They made it quick. Made it happen, Captain. Coach Justin Sanford set over some stats, and we're going to go over them. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the Los Compadres show, it is the Volleyball Roundup. All right, everybody, as let's go through this record. So, first of all, the Lakeside Dragons right now, 5-4. They go 2-2 last week, defeating Youngstown Cheney and Painesville Harvey. Painesville Harvey being the latest win. Again, like I said, 3-0. They win that one. Your kill leader this week is Savannah Shipman with 19. Hazel Garay Montelago with 8 aces is the leader from last week. It's Jasmine Colazzo with, it's not supposed to be 23. That's supposed to be 13. 13 blocks. Typo on my side.
Give her 23. Give her
23 sounds like a lot. Diggs is going to be Clara Campbell. That one is 23. And Clara Campbell also leading the pack in assists last week with 19. Congratulations to the Lady Dragons, as their next game, I believe, is tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So a big shout out to them, and Coach Justin Sanford for really putting together a nice program, bringing the first CVC title ever to Lakeside just a year ago for that Lakeside team. So congratulations. Again, Lakeside coaches, Lakeside teams, if you guys have things going on throughout the week, feel free to send them to me. Social media, you can hit me on Facebook, Instagram. You can email me, 440andgoal@gmail.com. If it's about the Dragons, it's going to be on the Lake Show here at Los Compadres. So now, Coach Henton.
Yes, sir.
We had a great week last week. I got to surprise you with some cool stuff. That's still one of my top 10 moments of all time. You guys go out there against a very talented NDCL team. There's no doubt about it. You know, I think that one loss that they take in week 1 said absolutely nothing. You know, Riverside's a top tier program. But you guys have a tough game. It was really a good game in the first half. I think in the fourth quarter is when it kind of gets away with you or gets away from you. What were some of the things that you would have liked to have seen improved other than scoring? Let me take that one out.
Right. We talk our stripes, you know. The things that I would like to see, you know, like our offensive line did a great job. You know, they held their own. They did what we asked of them. What I would like to have seen is just us spin the ball a little bit better. We just were either overshooting the receiver or 5 yards behind him. I think if there was one thing that I would change, I guess I would change some of those calls. I'm not going to change the kids so much. They are who they are, and You know, you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. So they are who they are. But I would say for us as a coaching staff, I think I would call. You know, what I mean, I would call a different game in the second quarter. I think I had to figure some things out. I'm learning how to adjust. You know, these guys. You know, one of our guys, one of our best guys. He never comes out in practice. He just doesn't allow anybody to sub him, and I have to learn to know I have to give a sub because you got hurt. And
yeah, sometimes there's a little bit too much go out and get them.
Yeah.
And you know, kids are going to be kids, and
Right.
and they, if you ask any 16, well, I guess it's 14 now, any 14 to 18-year-old, they are completely iron. They can't get hurt from nothing.
Yeah, until they face somebody, until they go against a linebacker.
Yeah.
Coach.
So, you know, obviously you said you wanted to spin the ball better, maybe get that passing game established a little bit more efficiently. What are some of the things that you liked? What are some of the things you saw you liked? You talked about the offensive line, which I think is a big feather in your cap because I believe you guys probably have the youngest offensive line in the county. These are kids, you know, you're earning stripes as a head coach. These kids are earning stripes right there every single play. But what are some other things that, you know, you saw that you really liked in this game?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not a line coach, so I have to give all the credit to my coaching staff. They're doing a great job with those guys. We got 3 offensive line coaches, and they're all watching somebody. So we're all learning how, you know, how to get through this, you know. And I told the team after the game we didn't expect to go undefeated. So let's figure this out now, and we just keep hitting this rock, man, as much as we possibly can. Just keep pounding this rock and figure this out.
Yeah, the best thing about football is it is a 10-game season. This ain't the playoffs yet. You guys are working toward that every day. You know, so what were, you know, some of the younger guys, did anybody catch your eye? You know, I think there's some guys that the expectations are right there. You know, when you're talking about guys like Devin, you're talking about guys like Nate, you know, Czar, these guys, the expectations are there. Is there anybody who kind of stuck out in that game and was given effort that you didn't really expect?
Well, yeah, from the defensive side, I can't say expect, but Chris McKeecher, one of the guys, he's all in every play, and it's a special thing to see. One of the guys that stood up and really got in there and did what we needed to do was Tommy Clemens. You know, he went in. Our outside linebacker got hurt. Jay got hurt, and he went in there. And watching film, when we grade film, he didn't have a negative grade on any play. It was just okay to his ability. When it was a problem on his side, it was just at the limit of his ability. But where he was going and where he needed to be, grade A. So I give him kudos because, again, he went in for a guy that just doesn't like to be substituted at practice. So he went in, he knew his job, he knew his responsibilities, he was speaking, he was talking, he was communicating, pointing. So those are the things that we wanted on defense. That was an excellent job by him. Tristan Westerfield he's just dynamite in 170 pounds at 5'5", you know, but the kid is something special when you sit there and literally watch him play. So guys like that came up, played their hearts out. You know, Matt Wagner had to play free safety for a while. He hasn't played free safety all season. He went in and played good to the point now he's trying to get reps now. So if I was to mention a few of those guys, those are the guys who stand out to me that aren't the regular guys. So, yeah.
So, you know, obviously after week 1, everybody's on a natural high. Everybody's, you know, feeling good about themselves. Everybody is sure about themselves. So practice last week, you talked about it. These kids were locked in. They were zoned in. You know, so far this week in practice, has there been a bounce back or are these kids just ready to go?
Right. I think that comes from the adults. I think, like, we didn't dwell on it. You know, we talked on Saturday. We graded ourselves. Here's your paper. Grade yourself every play. You know, if it's an A, you were 5-star. If it's an F, you start JV.
Yeah.
You know, and every play that you were in, you graded it and be honest with yourselves. By noon, we were done with that game, and we tried to figure out how we're going to this next game. So one of the things that we spoke about last week when I said that the guys were in it, they were in it emotionally. They were. And looking back at that, I don't know if they knew their jobs as well as if they knew the emotion of the game. So this week we're concentrating on their jobs, watching film, watching film together, sitting them home for homework. We have a huge whiteboard, and it's player notes. Hey, what did you see on film? And we're writing that down. So one of my things that I'm saying in the locker room this week, guys, a lot of times you don't want to listen to coach because coach has said it a million times. But if it's your man, if it's your best friend, if it's your buddy, if it's the guy that you snap, the guy that you go to the Y with, the guy that you hang out at the beach with, if he's writing a note on the board, you might believe it. So we're asking each other to write the notes down. We write those notes down. If you don't have that note, you write it down. Tomorrow we're going to come out and figure out if was all that true. And that's what we're doing this week. I think they're taking a lot more ownership this week.
Yeah, I mean, what a great way to really encourage accountability. I think I think you're right. I don't think it's a point where kids don't listen to the coach. I think kids will always listen to a coach. But I think when you're getting it from multiple different areas, I think that's a great way to kind of get a point across. You know what I mean? Because as a coach, a lot of times you got to do more yelling than selling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm a quiet talker except on Fridays.
One of the other things I think that is so fantastic, and if you don't follow the Lakeside football page on Facebook, it's really a good page. You see all kinds of things going on. Shout out to the Goal Line Club as well for posting these things. But one of the things we, you talked about in the 8th grader meeting, but it has really carried through, is this study table.
Oh, beautiful.
And that study table, I think it was like 38, 39, 41, 50. I mean,
so it keeps climbing. We have, we have 55 kids on the team. Just today we had 49.
Outstanding.
Just last Friday, our last day of school, we had 51 out of the 54. But two of the guys that are missing are kids who just transferred to the school, so they're kind of moving. They're trying to work their schedules. About half of their stuff is still in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Half of it is still here.
Okay.
So those are 2 of the guys out of the 55. So that would be 53. So we're missing 2 guys, and that's our goal. Like, it's funny. It all goes in line. Even when you talk to our scout team player of the week, it all goes in that line. Like, hey, if you think you're great and if you think you're good, come show people how to get there. So the first person in my study tables is Aaron Artman. He has a 4.0.
That's incredible.
So
absolutely incredible.
So you don't have an excuse on why you're not there. Like, he has the hardest classes on the team. He's getting straight A's in those classes. So if you're anywhere below that, emulate the best. So he goes in there, he does his homework, and then he walks around and helps guys. So again, we're trying to have a 3.0 grade point average. We're shooting for that. Not just an average. We want the kid to have a 3.0. So the average should be higher than that, because if that's our lowest grade point average,
yeah,
then obviously it's high. I'm not saying that we're going to get there, but that's the mission.
Yeah.
So, we all have jobs, and the 2.2 grade point average guy you work with, and the 3.8 kid.
That's exactly. It becomes very, very apparent very, very quickly. And you know what? I think there is a direct correlation. I think the guy who is giving everything he's got and putting all the time in outside of the classroom oftentimes puts that work into learning the game of football, and that the less mistakes get made.
D1 grades is what we're talking about. Like, you want to go D1, but the grades come first. Like, they don't want. We say we don't want strong dummies. And, we say that I practice a lot, but first get D1 grades. You're going to be Sammy Torres for a lot longer than you're going to be the athlete. So get the grades, and when that happens, then you're in the right spot. So
I mean, even Tom Brady retired at 39.
There you go.
There's life after years, football, no matter how good you get.
And Tom Brady, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Everybody watched him when they were young.
Yes. But so that's one of those things I really wanted to point out, because I think it's oftentimes it's really easy to kind of overlook the academic portion of it. I think as sports fans, we talk about football and what they're doing in practice and all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, these are student athletes, with student coming before athlete. Sure. And the culture change that you guys are trying to implement and putting through and seeing that. And, you talk about show me your 5. Well, if Aaron Artman isn't anybody's 5, then man, the sky is the limit, right?
There you go.
But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this week and Girard Red Dragons. It's a battle of the dragons this week. The Niles Red Dragons. It's a battle of the dragons this week. The Red Dragons versus the Green Dragons, or as I call them, the True Dragons. But they're a team that has lost a couple games starting off a rough part of the season. They've played some quality opponents, including Parma Holy Name, who is an annual playoff contender, and losing to a up and coming Howland, who has yet to lose yet either. I'm not so far removed from Howland to forget about the Smith boys played over there.
About 7 of them.
Yeah,
at least 3.
So it's a good program. So I don't think it's somebody you're necessarily overlooking, but it's definitely somebody I think is right within your wheelhouse and that sort of things. What are some of the things you want to make sure are getting done this week? That way you guys can be successful.
Finish. It's just finishing the tackle, finishing the run, finishing the block. It's just about finishing. We've got to the point that we're not afraid of. We're in the contact. We love the contact. It's just, okay, who's finishing who? We say it every day. There's a car accident on the field 50, 60 times a game. Is your foot on the gas pedal or is your foot on the brake? If your foot is on the brake, you're gonna stand over here with me because you're gonna be hurt, or we just can't use you. If your foot is on the gas pedal, a lot of times you're gonna keep moving. You're gonna keep going because not everybody wants that. So it's a violent sport that you chose. I didn't choose this sport for you, but I'm just going to let you know it's the other guy across from you. He's going to be violent. So you have to learn how to be violent for 48 minutes a week. And that's on Friday night. Hey, this guy is trying his dream, my dream, somewhere in the middle. We gotta go fight for it. And that's what we've been working on this week. Tackling drills. We went back to the basics on a lot of our tackling drills. Hey, you got to wrap. Don't grab him. Grab yourself. If you can grab yourself, then he's not getting out of that tackle. But if you're trying to grab him and he has big legs, then you're in trouble. But if I'm trying to really grab my wrist when I get around you, then we're going to hold on to that tackle. So it's just the basics thing. That's what we try to get back to. We're not throwing the baby out with the dirty water because we're not trying to reinvent the wheel and start over. Because there's some good things came from that last game. You learn, the old saying everybody says, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
It's funny how people only say that after they've won a couple games.
Right. Because the team that lost 4 games in a row, they didn't learn a lot. So, but I would say I learned a lot. Self-evaluation, and inspection over expectation. So I don't expect anything from our guys. I inspect it. I got to grade myself as well. Hey, why did you call this play on 3rd down and you knew it wasn't working? Like, all right, nobody's going to be harder on me than me. And I want to be the greatest version of myself for those guys because I asked them to be the greatest version of themselves. So I don't have a coach. I got to call guys and ask them what they do in this situation. I internalize it, man, and I keep rocking, man.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it's all forward, it's all gas. Andre 3000 said, spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors.
There you go.
So, it's all going forward. So, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is this is the home opener. So, no excuses because excuses are, a waste of time. But, is it a little bit different when you're playing on the road for 2 weeks and finally get home? What's the feeling when you guys get back to Lakeside?
Like, I'm already excited. I want to play right now, but I want these guys to experience the crowd. I want them to experience what it feels like to come out of your own locker room this year. I won't lie to you, man. I don't know. Like, people give me credit for being a hype beach guy. It's hard to do it in a visitor's locker room. we talk to them and we get them motivated. Then we get on the bus and then we drive for 45 minutes. And then so being home, we could pace ourselves. You're at home, your family's going to be there. You're not worried about anything. You walked out of the school, you didn't have to get on a bus, you didn't have to be quiet, you didn't have to do all these things. Like, you get to turn your music up at 3 and never turn it back down. But on the bus, that 45 minutes of quietness, like,
it'll do something to you.
Yeah, there's no excuse because we got to get off of the rock. But like, I can't wait to be here for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks in a row, we are home.
Yeah, it's you've got Niles this week, West Geauga next week. I get the honor of and the privilege of calling the West Geauga game next week, so I'm excited to get back to Lakeside. It is. I'll tell you what, folks. If you've never been, it's a stadium you really need to see. It's everything there is, top tier Class 1 facilities. It's a stadium that I think most people would dream about when it comes to high school football. It really there aren't too many like it.
And it looks better this Friday. I don't know why, but they said something about it looking nice this Friday, so you should come look it.
Absolutely. And it's Little Dragons night too. You talk about taking care of the youth and getting them involved, because the thing about high school is you only got these guys for 4 years.
4 years.
So, if you're not building for the future, you're setting up for failure.
Hey, I was just over there yesterday. And I want to handshake with those kids. I want to high five some of those kids. I walked over after the junior high 7th grade game, talked to the coaches. Like, this is when I talk about this being a program, I truly mean, like, hey guys, like, we want to speak the same language for 11 years of our life. And when I got hired in my pamphlet, it literally said this is a 40-year plan, not for me to coach for 40 years, but it's. Hey,
I mean, you're young enough. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
If you remember the late, great, God bless his soul, Adam Holman.
Yeah, he did it. But it's not a 40-year plan for me. It's a 40-year plan for these young men. Like, hey, man, I'm not building football players. I'm trying to build young men. The football portion of it, again, nothing about my job is easy, but that's the easiest part.
Absolutely.
So, we're more concerned about making the guy a man more than making him a football player.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one is going to go. I think it's going to be a great game. You guys are immensely talented, and I don't say that just because you're next to me. I've said that, throughout the offseason. I think you guys have some of the best and some of the best Ashtabula County has to offer. And when you guys really put it together, my goodness, is it going to be a fun time to be a Dragon.
I can't wait.
We're going to go to our first break, and when we come back, we're going to have our Dragon Player of the Week, which is Nate the Bulldozer Bartone, joining us for the first time this year. If you don't know about this guy, ask a linebacker anywhere within 50 miles. They probably got a headache because of it. But my name is Sam Torres. This is The Lake Show, and we will be right back.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Versetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are two of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids. and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
All right, everybody, we are back after that break, and I am going to get to sit down with the man, the myth, the legend known as Nate Bartone. Now, Nate is one of the hardest hitting, one of the most physical runners, tacklers, you name it, that you will ever find. Nate, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Nate Bartone, folks, this is working on his fourth letter this year as a Dragon. You've been a starter since you've been a freshman. You've played a big role, honestly, since you were a freshman, both in the running game and on defense. What was it like to come in as that freshman, and what are some of the things that have changed now that you're a senior?
Honestly, I think like my strength and like my technique and like how to get off blocks is way better, because when I was a freshman, they were just throwing me around and I was getting bullied. But now that I have that experience, I can actually use my techniques and whatnot to get off blocks.
Yeah, and one of the things I think is a hallmark of you when you're playing football, there's never been a game where you've been on the field where I haven't been, oof, at least one time when you've hit somebody. Where does that physical style of running come from? Because, the smile I see now is the smile I see when you're walking to the sideline after you've ruined somebody's day.
Honestly, I don't know. It's just, I go out there and I try to my 100% try to hit somebody as hard as I can.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, your 100% is something else. It really, really is. So now you are part of what I call the Hydra, the three-headed monster in that backfield for this Lakeside team. You, a very talented junior in J. Anthony Williams, a very talented junior in Devin Miller. Devin Miller, a guy that you've been playing with your entire career. J. Anthony getting added to the bunch, where everybody has started to take those roles and that sort of thing. You obviously are the in between the tackles guy. Nate for three is for real. But you have to take on a blocking role and that sort of thing. Was that something you had to adjust to, or is that just something you're like, this is how I can help the team?
It's just, honestly, I took it as I can help the team win if I block somebody, or if I just block it, if I help block it. I like blocking too. So just not running the ball.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when you get close to that end zone, though, that's where the confidence sets in. When you can see that field goal post, there's a different Bartone. Bartone the bulldozer, Bartone the bus, whatever you want to call it. Is that what goes through your head when you're that close? And Coach Terry Henton is like, I know who's got to touch the ball.
But yeah, every time we're in the 5, I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting the ball.
That's the ownership. We'll call it the Bartone zone. That's what it's going to be called on the call from now on. But you're not just an offensive guy; you're a defensive guy as well. Playing in the middle linebacker. I see a lot of times, even in the 7-on-7s, where you're seeing different coverages, calling things out. You seem to be between you and Ty Anderson. You guys are like the air traffic control out there. Do you spend a lot of time, outside of football, looking at things to learn the game even more?
Yeah. Me and Tyree, we write notes. Like, we watch film, and we write notes on what the other team does, and we write down all their plays and all their formations. So we have a good understanding coming into the week. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Between you and Ty, I don't know any running back that's going to want to go in the middle. I'm not doing that. It's not going to end well for you. On the defensive side, though, that's where the youth really is on this team. So, as a senior, have you taken ownership? What are some of the things that you've tried to do to make sure these kids are, I call them kids, you're a kid yourself, but these younger kids are, accountable and that they can come to you and that sort of thing?
Yeah, just a lot of communication, just always telling them what they got, like their assignment, and helping them throughout the plays. And just communication, a lot of it helps them a lot. So.
Outstanding. So what are some other things you do in the off season, whether it's sports or training, to keep yourself sharp?
Weightlifting and a lot of just jogging, running, staying in shape. So staying in shape. I like staying in shape.
That's a big one. People overlook that, staying in shape. Your best ability is your availability. And if you're out of it, you can't make the plays. Now, Nate, You make big plays on offense. You make big plays on defense. Which of those two do you like doing more?
I like defense, definitely.
Defense.
Defense.
See, I'll tell you what, that might be the first defense we've had, not on just this show, that I've had in about 3 years. The guys that want to go out there and make a big difference. What are some things this Friday that Nate Bartone has to get done to make sure you guys are successful?
He has to tackle better and just honestly stop trying to juke through the hole and just run straight through the hole.
Trust the strength, man. Trust these guys, because I'll tell you what, it's a tough day trying to hit this guy every. I don't know if you've been taken down on a first tackle in 4 years, so it's been a super fun time getting to watch you play this game, and for 4 years you've been a starter, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen this week. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. This week's Dragon Player of the Week, it's Nate the Bulldozer Bartone.
Thank you.
Not Barton. All right, our next interview coming up. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to bring our Scout Team Player of the Week, Chris McEachin.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
All right, everybody, we are back with the Dragons Scout Player of the Week. It's Chris McEachin. And the Scout Team Player of the Week, I think a lot of people automatically are going to put it to the guys who maybe are younger and haven't got too much time on a Friday night. That not the case here. This right here is a certified starter, folks. Defensive end, Chris McEachin, who goes out there and while he's making a big difference on the field on Fridays on the defensive side, found a way to make a difference on the scout team for offense this week. So, as a junior coming into this year, I call this the year of transition. It's where you have to establish yourself. What were some of the things you wanted to make sure you got done?
Pretty much just work and getting sacked, getting out there, getting the backfield better than I did last year.
All right, hold on. Before we get too going,
yeah.
I need you to take that microphone and cut it in a little bit. I thought Terry talked quiet.
Pretty much just doing better than what I did last year and learning from my mistakes from what I did last year and getting in the backfield and trying to get sacks and make defensive stops.
So, as a starter, I think it brings a particular challenge at times to play on the scout team. how did you get yourself pumped up when you're used to being the starter on defense to go on the offensive side of the ball and try and give that defense business?
Yeah. Pretty much. Just trying to make everybody better.
That's big.
Yeah, it's just like we both working on making ourselves better. So it's like me against you, like Artman. Like I just try to do what their defense would do, and so like bull rushing and all that. I wouldn't. They don't really work on their technique. You don't got no technique moves like me, but pretty much just bull rushing them and just like working on each other's craft and everything like that.
Yeah, and you talk about the bull rush, and one of the comments that I got from Coach Henton was that you might be the strongest guy on the team. Now, listen, that's probably going to fire up the locker room, and I'm sure it will. But you know what? The great thing is there's a whole weight room where you guys can prove yourself, except don't get yourself hurt. We got a lot of football to play. But, making sure, I think one of the biggest things is if the toughest opponent you're going to see is the guy you're seeing Monday through Thursday, it makes Friday a lot better.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better.
So what are some of the things you did in the off season to get ready for this junior year?
Pretty much, I will tell the truth. Here's something I would do. I would have like trash can.
Okay, you got a trash can.
So I'll work on my techniques and my moves to like get around because I'm like on the smaller side. So it's just like they'll be bigger than me. So I know like I won't be able to like bull rush them like anybody else. So I would just work on like try to get close and like use swim moves and get low and like use my moves against them to get past them and stuff like that.
Jason Taylor, Julius Peppers, never the biggest guy in the league.
Right.
So they had to make their best, and those guys are going to have gold jackets. so you don't have to worry about being the biggest. It's about how you're getting around.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you, Chris McEachin, when you guys line up at home on Friday, what are some things that you got to make sure get done, not only as a starter, but for the rest of this week?
Sacks.
Okay.
Sacks. That I want sacks. That's what I want. I want to be on that leaderboard, number one sacks in county. That's what I want.
Oh, okay. Hey, he's talking about the leaderboard, folks. Now that's my thing right there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna hold you to it. You got to make your way on there. But on the scout team, obviously you're getting some offense time. You're making, you're earning your stripes or scales or whatever you want to call it over at Lakeside on the defensive side. But you get to sniff that offensive side.
Yeah.
Which one do you like more? You like playing on the offensive side of the ball or defense? Man, something is different over here at Lakeside this year. I'll tell you what. I've heard nothing but offensive guys. The guys want to have the ball. You're trying to ruin people's day.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
What are some of the things you like to do in school? What's your favorite subject?
Science.
Science.
I feel like it's a cool subject. It's like you can learn a lot from science. You can learn math in science. You can learn like English in science for real. But science is a pretty cool subject.
I'll tell you what, there's this great NFL player, probably the best. Not all the YSN guys are going to agree with this. The best defensive end in all of football, named Myles Garrett. He's a scientist too. So, science is a pretty good subject to attach yourself to. It's really, I enjoyed this scout team player of the week stuff because, it's showing the team, the team portion of this game. Are you excited to get back home? Because I'll tell you what, we talked to Coach Terry. I forgot to ask the bulldozer how he felt about this. So I'm gonna have to get him off camera and see how he feels. But you guys go on the road for 2 weeks, but this week you guys get to go where your colors are in the stands, your scoreboard, and you get to hear that band that really gets down.
Yeah, it's gonna be super exciting. I'm already excited. It fires me up to be home for once. Like we've been gone for way too long. I feel like we finally home, and I feel like it's gonna be our game.
What is your favorite part about playing in Dragon Stadium?
Energy.
The energy.
The energy.
Yeah, that crowd is loud.
Yeah, it's loud. Especially when you make a big play, it's loud. I love the energy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you guys on defense, man, when you do make a big play, it erupts the joint. Now, granted, they still get live when, these big touchdown plays happen, or when we get in the Bartone zone inside the 5-yard line, they still make, a lot of noise there. But, there's something different when the offense think they've got something going, and Chris McEachin went back there and planted him in the garden.
Yeah. My job. It's my job.
You love to hear it. You love to see it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for putting in all the work. I'm sure Coach Henton is very, very thankful. It's going to be a fun week this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris McEachin, this week's Scout Team Player of the Week.
Thank you.
All right, folks, I'm going to go to one more set of breaks, and when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this Niles game. We're going to talk about some of the stat leaders this week, and we'll end this week's show. So I'll be right back. My name is Sam Torres. This is The Lake Show, live from Los Compadres.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
All right, everybody, we are back here, and I got Coach T. Henton right back here with me to end the show. We're going to talk about some of the county stat leaders, and we'll bring up a couple of these Dragon guys that have made the list, as this week we released our first defensive stats of the year. Now, defensive stats, as I said on the show yesterday, and I will reiterate here, not everybody everybody calculates their defensive stats the same. Here at the 440 Sports Show, we do. A tackle, 1 point. An assist, half of a point. You get 1 point for a sack. You get 1 point for a TFL. So, yeah, some of these guys maybe on the team site may have 56 tackles. Not so much here. We're going to cut some of those in half. We'll start with the passing leaders, Excuse me. We talked about Matt Wagner. He had a tougher night that night. Still sitting at about 110 yards. But the rushing leaders, J. Anthony Williams, 14 carries for 134 yards. Nate Bartone right behind him with 94 yards. And Devin Miller, who just missed the list here at 80 yards. So, the Hydra is in full effect, that three-headed monster. And J. Anthony Williams, he got injured early in the game in that one, so not too many carries. And Bartone, the bulldozer, has to take over the lion's share of the carries that one.
Oh, he's coming.
We talk about the receivers out here. Obviously the passing game trying to get itself going, so we're going to keep going.
We're third on that list.
Oh, we on it?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. There you go.
Now.
Yeah, my J. Anthony Williams on here, 5 receptions, 116 there. Still yet to get his first touchdown, but 5 receptions for a running back at 116 yards. Not too shabby.
There we go.
Let's get into some of these tacklers, and that's where we're going to talk about some of these guys. Chris Erickson, 14 and a half tackles. Behind him is going to be Tyree Anderson with 12.5 tackles. You've got some guys that are making a big difference. Tyree Anderson is, one of the guys we talked about in week 1. Me and Bartone talked about him as well. He's a high energy guy. He always seems to be in the mix.
Oh yeah, that's when you're the middle linebacker, your job is to sniff the ball out, see ball, hit ball. So and that's his favorite thing to do. So.
And Bartone, just so you know, I've got the luck of knowing these stats already. Bartone just misses this list as well, 11 tackles. So he's right there. I'm really excited to see that competition between those two guys.
Those are all 3 linebackers right there. Chris Erickson, Tyree, and Bartone. Those are all 3 linebackers.
Yeah, so the linebackers are doing the work.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And here we go. It's 2 Lakeside Dragons on here leading the pack for TFLs. Chris Erickson and our scout team player of the week, Chris McEachin, both tied with 2 tackles for loss. It's a big time. If your quarterback can't get away or if they're not getting on the right side of the ball,
there you go.
You're doing something right.
There you go. Good job, fellas.
And then sack leader is going to be nobody from Lakeside just yet. We're working on it. Now, I will tell you guys, we don't have interception leaders up there yet because I don't know what is in the air this year, but we got about 6 guys tied for 2. We've got 11 guys tied with 1. So I didn't know we passed that much in Northeast Ohio, but the numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Well, maybe that's why we don't. With all these interceptions.
But we'll bring up, again, we'll bring this week. It's a big one. You got your home opener against Niles. They got to come in and we talked a little bit about what you guys got to get done and how important is it for you guys to kind of bounce back off of that?
Very important. We have a plan. We have a goal. And Niles is in the way of that. So we have a big goal. These guys want to play football when it's cold outside. So you got to win the games when it's warm outside.
I'll tell you what, I like that. I like that a lot. If you want to play football when it's cold out, you got to win the ones when it's warm out. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be Dakota Kotzel on the call this week, heading to Lakeside for his first time. It's going to be a great game. 7:00 start on your home for high school sports here in Ashtabula County. YSNlive.com. It's going to be on the Dragons page.
Yes,
so it's all about Lakeside this week. I can't wait to see how these guys bounce back and protect the layer.
Please do. Yeah, and make sure you come.
Yes, you got to get down to Lakeside.
Bring a friend.
If you haven't been, I'm telling you, you're missing out. The concessions are bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a concessions guy, if you couldn't tell. You know what I mean? The nachos are always great. The hot dogs are banging. It's going to be a fun week this week at Lakeside. As always, I want to thank my co-host for this show, Coach Terry Henton. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a great one. I can't wait to do next week already. And live from Los Compadres, my name is Sam Torres. And as always, folks, this is for the 440.
This for the 440. This for the 440. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them goats. All from the 440 and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the 440 chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them. Yeah, and kinda I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number 1 in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. Switch for the 440.